Hi there, welcome to Sunnyside Journals. I'm Catherine. I'm here today with a tiny little bit of a thrift haul, and then I'm going to do a little bit of work on Infelice. So thanks for joining me. I went to one of my favorite little thrift stores today, but I didn't have much luck. I think everyone is still recovering from Christmas. So I think my little weigh scale store, I spent a total of 50 cents. And then I was in and out of there so quickly. I decided to try one of my other stores, and I think I spent $4. Now, the nice thing was at the other store, turned out it was Senior's Day, so I got 20% off. And they were having 50% off yellow tags and 70% off green tags. So anyhow, let's take a look and see what I found. And then we can get started on a few little things. Infelice is mostly, sorry about that, bag's right in your way. Infelice is mostly almost done, except for creating some pretty ephemera. So, okay, hold on. Let me get that out of the way. There. Okay, the irritating bag is gone. So, weigh scale store. Let's see. I only found a few little pieces of metal. You know, I like to go through the bins in the tool section and find bits of metal. This is kind of cool. It's like a little hook. So I can use brads, and I can see that on a cover, maybe holding the loop to hold it closed, to hold a book closed. You know what I mean? Same with here. This one, I could see using this on the edge of a book. Where's a book? Here's a book. I could see putting this like on the edge of a book, say right there, using some brads, and then the ribbon could come around and hook around and hold that closed. So that was part of my 50 cents. And then what else did I get over there? Oh, I just got 2 decks of cards because of course I need more cards. But I liked these ones. You know me, I love red. And I just loved how old these were. And it's a nice red. And it's just simple and plain, so it would match any, if you had a theme going, it would match it. And I just turn them into journaling cards, and they make interesting, fun journaling cards. And I like the box. That's a cool box. So I will even use the box. This one I like. I guess it's the Irish in me. It's just a map of Ireland and all the different little areas. Let's see if I can show you where I'm from. My ancestors are from right in around here. My Catholic Irish ancestors came from Roscommon, and my Protestant Irish ancestors came from Derry. And then that's how I turned into that song, "Oh, it is the biggest mix-up that you have ever seen." Because when my orange grandmother married my green grandfather, oh boy, her father actually didn't talk to them for a few years. He was so furious. But love wins out, and they had 5 children, and the rest is history. My mom was baby number 3. There we go. So that was from my weigh scale store. 4 items, 50 cents. So then I went over, like I said, over to my other little store. Far be it for me to pass up index cards. So I found some more index cards. Now I found some little laces. And I like them because they're flat. Green labels were 70% off, so these cost 30 cents. The blue is quite nice. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Little shimmer. I wonder if that No, Infelice is kind of a turquoisey blue. She's not a robin's egg blue. She's kind of turquoisey. But I like that, and I actually like this little peachy colored flat lace. It's certainly looks like orange sherbet. Happy with that. Well done. Found some extra big paper clips. If you follow along with me when I do my signatures, I really love big flat, I'm saying a lot, sorry. Big flat paper clips to hold my signatures in place while I poke holes in them. And wowee, look at the size of these babies. So I was happy to find those. So I'm going to actually, right now while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to go put them in my sewing tin, my signature sewing tin. There we go. So they will be there for the next time I sew some signatures together. And I found some double window envelopes, 50 cents a bundle. I'm not sure. I didn't count how many are there. There's enough there that it looked like it was worth my while. So I like when it's got the, whatever that pattern is called, in the back. So I'll tea dye these. Maybe tomorrow, although tomorrow I have to go to the eye doctor. Anyhow, these will get tea dyed. And the last thing I got was just a pretty little runner. Sometimes I like to wrap a journal if it's going off to its new home. I really like to imagine that it's a gift going off somewhere new. And sometimes I'll wrap them up, especially if it's a very feminine ladylike journal, and I'll put a big bow around it and some lace. And I don't know, I just like that. So happy with that. Let me get these out of the way and we can do a little bit of work on Infelice. Oh, come on. Where are you going to go? There we go. Oh, hold on. Let's put this metal into my metal doodads box. There we go. That's done. And now, so I did a little bit of work last night on Infelice. I'm not sure where we left off. I put this metal word banner on the front, joy, which I thought was appropriate since Infelice in Italian means unhappy. I put joy on the front. I have since added in the end papers for the front and for the back. Initially, I was going to use, I've cut up some of it since then. Nothing gets wasted. Initially, I was going to use some paper that looked like this. I'll show you where, cutting up. I had already cut the ends. But I found these in a botanical book. This book here, In Search of English Gardens. And it's got some beautiful artwork in it. If you ever see it, grab it. Lots of botanical color paintings. Look at that, isn't that lovely? So I was just leafing through it by accident, thinking I had fully decided on just putting polka dots in the front. And then I saw this magnolia. And I thought, the young lady who's the lead character in this book, she's a Southern belle. And I thought, well, she needs a magnolia in the front. And then in the back, I just thought these little pansies were so pretty. Pansies, my mother always loves pansies because they look like they've got happy little faces. And I stitched around the edges, which I haven't done before. All these books I've been making, and I've never stitched around the end papers. So, and I like the way that looks. Very happy with how that turned out. I finally decided on what I wanted to do for this front page. I found this page in a Reader's Digest condensed book, and this was actually the front cover page for the biography, the autobiography of Moss Hart, who did quite a few famous musicals. Anyhow, it had a whole bunch of words here that said, you know, life story of Moss Hart. And, I think he worked with Rogers and Hart. Rogers and Hammerstein worked together, and then Rogers worked with Rogers and Hart. Anyhow, so I covered up the writing here. I just wanted Act 1 and an autobiography because Regina, the young lady in this story, writes a play called Infelice. So I thought, Act 1, that's a good way to start this book if its main character has been writing a play. And I added a picture of a young lady looking rather introverted and, doing some soul searching there. And then just some more flowers. Now on this side, instead of doing an ex libris, I didn't want to cover that up, or this. Instead of doing an ex libris, I had a few of these from a book that I fussy cut. You can see how it's out of a book. And this one here that I've put in, it said dedication, and this one says contents. So what I did was I just used my X-Acto knife and I cut that out and I glued it in here, but I didn't glue the top. So what I've done is I put a word snippet there, and that way it can slide in and out. So the new owner, oh, come on, behave yourself. They always give you trouble when the camera's running. If the camera wasn't going, this thing would go bip, 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 bip. Anyhow, so I happen to do Heart Matters, but the new owner, if they want, can just simply take it out, flip it over, and write their own name on it, put their own word snippet on it. They can make it their own. Or they can leave it saying Heart Matters. Come on. There you go. See? Doesn't it feel nice to cooperate? So, now what do I want to work on? I want to work on this. So let's put you aside. I'm going to need some mucky paper. There we go. I've got a bit of a sniffly nose. I'm warning you ahead of time. So I've got this little girl down by the seaside. And on this page here, oh, come on, where there's music, once there was a little princess. I want this page to still be able to be journaled on. So I've got some tracing paper, which is quite transparent. And what I want to do is put the tracing paper down, and then I want to put this little princess right there. But that tracing paper is way too white. So I'm going to, I don't have time to wait for tea dyeing. So I'm going to do my fast version of tea dyeing. And when something is pure white, for me, my fast version of tea dyeing involves using antique linen distress ink and then also using twigs. And what did I close that? So I just gently brush over it just to take away that glaring white. It doesn't need to be too dark because I'm going to go around the edge. I want it to be evident that I've covered up the music on purpose, but that I want you to still be able to see the music through it, but that you can still use it as a journaling spot. There, that's good. So now you can see, hopefully you can see, let me see if that side's white. That side's white. You can see that now it's slightly yellow. It's not pure white anymore. And then I'm going to get out my, you can't tell anymore, but this is gathered twigs. And I'm just going to gently go around the edge and make that edge stand out a bit more. So I went and saw my mom today. Small talk while I distress. She was great. Boy, she's very happy. We took down her Christmas tree and got her room all back so that it looks normal again. Although she was enjoying, I've got this, I like to get her those little rocking, moving things that you get from Dollar Tree. I don't know if you've ever seen them. They have a little solar panel on them, and they rock and dance and and do all kinds of fun things. And I like getting her new ones and putting them on her windowsill. She gets a real kick out of them. And she has one that's Santa, and he's rocking in a rocking chair, checking his list. And she was still enjoying him. And I said, Mom, let's leave him right there. He has to check his list all year through. Just because Christmas is over, his list is still working. She agreed. So Santa got left out on the windowsill. And I think that's quite all right. If he brings her joy, that's all that matters. Now, I want this. This is tracing paper. So it's very thin. I'm worried that if I use a glue stick, that there may still be some lumps or some areas that will show. So I'm actually going to use my aerosol sticky spray, tacky spray. So what I'm going to do actually right now, because I have to go shake it, and it has to be shaken for like 2 minutes. So I'm going to pause right now. I'm going to go shake it and spray the back of this, and it will seem like forever to me, and for you it'll seem like I've done this. So I'll see you in a second. Okay, so I bet that seemed fast. So now what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to do my corners, because sometimes it can still be persnickety. So I'm just going to put a light little bead of art glitter glue around the edges, pardon me. Come on, behave. Okay, I'm not going to. I hate getting glue on my fingers because my fingers really, really give me a hard time. I'm just doing this because sometimes art glitter glue, even that glue, will leave a little see-through line. So I'm just trying to smush it. Sorry, you can't see right now, but this thing is so sticky that I'm doing my best to make it cooperate. There we go. All right, nope, go out of the way. All right, so I want you up higher for writing. There we go. Excellent. So see what I mean? That just gives a little bit of a, it dulls down the pattern of the music. So now it's a journaling area. I've already inked around the edges. Now I heard you fall over. Oh, there you are. I've already inked around the edges of this little girl, so I can go right ahead and get her all gluey. My head's been trying to have a migraine for 2 days now. Those of you who get migraines know what I'm talking about. It just It's like it's threatening. It's not a full-blown migraine. It's that aura. It's that... And I'm, at first you fight it and you think, no, 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 I don't want a migraine. And then even when you've just been putting up with how you're feeling, you do get to the point where you think, okay, just give me the migraine so I can get it over with. I don't get them very much anymore. My migraines, for the most part, back when I was really raging with migraines, were hormonal based. And now that I'm on the other side of that fun part of womanhood, they've settled down quite a bit, but I can get migraines triggered if I let my blood sugar go too low. That will nice. And this takes my mind off my head trying to decide whether it's going to surrender. Now I want to put, this is a page from a book on how to paint flowers. And it's a really sweet book because it tells you the different, on some pages there were illustrations. This one doesn't have illustrations, but then on the next page it would tell you what colors to use to paint the illustration. Oh, I'm going to cough. Hold on. Okay, I think I'm done. Anyhow, it's cute because it also included poems of flowers, which is just a nice little book. Anyhow, I wanted to put some flowers here, so because we don't need to know what color paints we're using, but we could still read the poem. So let's get you glued down. I need to make a library pocket. I'm feeling like a library pocket, but I may very well do that in another video rather than trying to do a whole 45-minute video. I'd rather do like 2 20 minutes rather than a big long one, because YouTube, uploading videos day before, I'm uploading and I'm watching it, and it's, getting up there, 85%, 7 minutes to go, 92%, 5 minutes to go. And seriously, I swear, it got to 99%, 1 minute to go. And I swear I blinked, looked the other way, looked back, and it said 2%, 3 hours to go. I'm not kidding you, 3 hours to go. I was pretty cranky, let me tell you. Now this is where I've got to make sure that I'm pretty well where I want to be, because there's no peeling this up when you've used art glitter glue. But I want to be able to read the whole poem, and I don't care about this writing down here. And I don't want the flowers going off the edge of the page. There, I think we did it. Yes, yay! All right. All right. Yeah, let's see if I've done anything else. Oh, I put her in last night. I meant to go to bed. It was like 20 after 10, and I thought, I'm going to bed. My husband and the dog had already gone to bed, and I always come in here and make sure my lights are all turned off. And I spotted her on my desk here, and I thought, oh, she needs to go in. But she's so big, and I thought, what do I do with her? And she's sort of like a great big huge cockeyed belly band, because the top, what I did was I glued that side of her and that side of her. She's really tough paper. It's quite thick. So I thought, you know what, that's kind of cool. So I made sort of a belly band, a sideways cockeyed belly band out of a lady who's lounging and relaxing with a book. So I just put that there. You're going to think I'm nuts. I put that there to remind myself in the morning that that's actually glued down and that I actually did it last night before I went to bed. Oh, the brain is a wonderful thing. Let's see if I did anything else before I turn this off. I put in my Nancy pocket. This, let's take that. I just put that in there again too to remind myself that I made a Nancy pocket. I was trying to just glue this down and it was too floppy. So what I did was I stitched it onto some of that cute polka dot paper. Remember I was just saying that I ended up not using the papers that I had originally cut for the front end papers. So I used one of them to actually put behind here. And I think it looks kind of pretty because you can see the turquoise just peeking through the holes. So I sewed it on to this paper, and that way I glued the paper down to make the pocket. And I think this is the last one. I had these little tiny safety pins that have a color on them. This one's pink, and it's the last one I have. So I made my my Nancy pocket out of a doily, and I just put that there for now. It might stay there. That might be its home, but it might move. It's just I made a journaling card out of, this was from a book. I cut that out of a book. Now what else? What else? Did I do any more work? I keep passing by this card as I flip through working on it. And I originally was going to cover that up so that when you looked through, you saw something different. But I decided it's so beautiful and so pretty. This is a vintage card. It's the real deal. That I'm just going to leave it as is. It's just so pretty. I love that color. And I thought, you know what, maybe it's appropriate because it says, when you're well. And the main character in this book was extremely unhappy. So maybe this will help her feel a little bit happier. So that's how I told myself and convinced myself to just leave that be, leave it well enough alone, because it's a pretty little card. Edith Holden page. Woohoo. I need to do something with these sides of the window. I don't know yet what I'm going to do. Oh, I put some lace on this side of the Edith Holden page. Just some flat lace. And I don't want to bulk this up because I really want to have fun making some ephemera. So that means what I've done, if you can see here, I've just put one strip of lace per signature, per one side of signature. So there are 5 there, and I think they look pretty. I had to include that lavender one that was supposed to be brown. Well, here's what I did. I made a pocket. There's that polka dot. It didn't get wasted, so I don't feel too badly. I made a pocket out of part of it. And this is a sticker from that 1940s sticker book that I found a few months ago. Isn't that gorgeous? And it's embossed. It's so pretty. What I'd like to do is find a word snippet to put here. This blank space here is just crying out at me for a word snippet. So I'm going to be doing that. And I just tucked one of these in. I found these the other day, if you recall, on a thrifting. I think I got 8 of them for 25 cents. And I just thought that fit in there nicely. So what I'm going to do now, and I'm going to actually stop here, and then I'll restart with a new video, is I want to make, this is the front page of Infelice, and I want to make a library pocket. So I'm going to not pause now. I'm going to stop here, and then I will, I'll be posting another video maybe by tomorrow, and we'll make together a library pocket. All right, great. Thanks for visiting with me. And oh, do you see that? I don't smoke, I had cheesies with my lunch. I love cheesies. Cheetos cheesies. So it's not from smoking. And it's not from tea dyeing either. That's cheesies. Bye everyone. We'll talk soon.